go, but it's so hard sometimes. And there's so many failures and different struggles in between that sometimes we don't talk about or share about. And those are some of the conversations that Brett and I were having. And we decided, hey, we wanted to bring this also to support other women that are on different paths of their journeys, whether we can help them if they're a couple of steps behind, or if some people are ahead of us that we're continuing to learn from. So I'm always a student, and we've always had those kind of uplifting conversations and wanted to share it. So that's our point for kind of hosting this room. Brett, I'll let you introduce yourself. And
Yeah. And so we tried to do, this via Clubhouse and Instagram, but we're going to head over to Clubhouse after this is done because that didn't work. But hi, everyone. It's good to see you guys here. I'm glad you guys are all coming. Hi, Courtney. But yeah, so we have, as friends, like weekly conversations as entrepreneurs. So yeah, we just want to include you guys in that. So I think we'll first start about like our personal journeys as entrepreneurs and friends at the same time, and how we got to the point, of our careers that we're at now, which was not an easy road at all. So me and Stacey actually met at LMU, and we were roommates, or college roommates, and we literally created the concept, I guess, of Stuck within our dorm room living room together. And Stacey kind of came up with the name. And I think, like at the time, when we both wanted to start businesses, start companies, we were kind of going through it. Like we were both dating kind of, not very not, I would say, toxic people, let's be real. And so we really wanted an outlet, and we wanted somewhere, to focus our attention on that wasn't just like, that wasn't just men, that wasn't just like single-minded, that wasn't like, gonna bring us down. We wanted to up our vibration, and we wanted to like, create communities for women to speak and to be honest and to be open and to share real stories and like the real struggle, that is entrepreneurship a lot of the time. So yeah, we created, the concept of Stuck, but then Stuck also kind of branched off into, Stacey's whole idea, which
oops, sorry, I lost at the last part for some
oh
reason.
yeah, no, I was just gonna ask you to explain Exalter, like kind of, the concept of Exalter, and I'll go into Stuck more.
So in what was so amazing about, well, one, finding this roommate situation, and we kind of like didn't know each other before then, and kind of were assigned dorms and roommates, and it was so fun to, all of the women that we really shared with, but me and Brett definitely connected on the woman empowerment and what we were trying to just,
And
bring.
Stacey's a women studies major.
Yes, so as a women's teacher, and Brett in art, which I always loved art, and she always inspired me in that way. So, we started talking, and like she said, it was really kind of born out of like both wanting to do so much, and then also we're in these toxic relationships where we were really like leaning on each other for advice, for friendship, for sisterhood, where we can go out and just like have a good time. And what we realized is like, whoa, so many things are happening around us, but yet people weren't having those types of conversations that we were having.
Right.
But anyway, fast forward, Stuck kind of came about, and we were just, we were thinking about clothing. We were thinking about so many things at that time.
It started as that. It was just a clothing line to start,
Yeah,
like Step was. Like this.
exactly. And it's really like morphed into so much more. And I'm so in awe of Brett and what she did. And
And yours morphed into a book. So, I mean.
Exactly. And Alter just kind of came out of that. It definitely was like a branch out of that because, during the time I was just blogging, I just started blogging and writing, and I really didn't know, where I was going to go with that. But I started just writing about what was going on with me. And Exalter was really about like, dang, like for me, it was just like, can you bring her out? Like Exalter was like, rise her, like uplift her, like just like bring her out of wherever she is. So it's just like really coming to surface, being who you are.
And
And
can you explain because it go with like a Bible verse or the Exalter?
yeah,
Name?
because you always tell me to share it and I never do. It says like exalt. Actually, I should get the exact one, but it's kind of like exalt thee, and
Yeah.
thou shalt promote thee. It's a proverb.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it could be explained around like a relationship, like when a man exalts a woman, then he gets blessed, that type of thing. But I always also saw it as yourself. Like if you're able to exalt her, and like really put,
Ah.
you can actually be able to magnify all of the desires that you want and also the
Mhm.
person and thing for you. So that's kind of like where Exalter started, but now it's a book. I have my books. I know, Brett, you're gonna have yours
It's
soon.
very like it like matches my shirt and whole thing.
um, all of my I have Exalter partners here. I know Rihanna's online and Steph and Ezzy. Um, hi, everyone. Oh, Crystal, hello. Um, yeah, so that's kind of just where Exalter started and was born, but so much more things that we want to host, and we're excited to host together. So
Yeah, exactly. And then Stuck, we were like sitting in the living room, like I think like kind of just navigating through shit. I feel like we kind of navigated through our trauma together in a way, but like that I think cleared the way for us to be like, lasting and sustaining entrepreneurs, because I feel like today, so many people want to be entrepreneurs, so many people want their own companies, but it's like, A, how do I do that? B, how do I like do that and sustain it? And C, like how do I do that and actually like have fun and love doing it? And I feel like we kind of, we did the inner work first, and we really like delved into ourselves and our own personal stories, and maybe like, trauma that existed within our families, or like that trauma that existed within our past relationships. And I feel like we talked about that a lot together. We wrote about that a lot, like in journaling, like we let go of a lot of stuff. And out of that, we're just sitting in the living room like, so, okay, let's do this. Like, let's make a community for women. Let's call it, I don't know what do we call it. And so we were like literally sitting there for a long time, maybe like an hour, thinking of names, brainstorming. And then we were stuck on the name. And then Stacey was like, it should be called Stuck. And then I was like, yes. And then it can be an acronym. So it's strong, talented, united, and knowledgeable. And Stuck is a community of women who provide programming, art and self-love programming, to girls in underserved communities on a global level. So we are also, a community, but it's philanthropic based, and we're working in Ghana right now. It is appalling how few women there are in the art world, and even more appalling how, few Black female women are within the art world. I think in all the galleries across America, 5% of artworks in those galleries are by women, 3% are of Black women. So that's nuts. And, there's like almost no art education these days. So it's like, taking what what me and Stacey were going through, and just, learning and delving through our own self-love journeys. And then also just finding out about like, the reality of like the art world. I combined, those two things to make such a nonprofit. So yeah, we kind of have both, the self-love side of things and the philanthropic, side of things. And
so
yes,
exciting
that's that.
that well, one, I love just still being a part of that, like being an ambassador, being an advocate, being all of those things, because praise to you, like really working with the young girls, and like starting with the young girls, self-esteem, self-love, all of those things. And then we have like the clothing line that really just helps support and gets the brand message
This
out
is
there.
it.
Yes, like I love your t-shirts and just the art that you're putting out, always a movement. And then for me, it's like really just coaching with adult women, entrepreneurship, and also, really rewiring our heart and our mind for not looking for other things outside to give us the validation, but also like finding the validation inside, within first, so we can like love out of our overflow, that we're
Yep.
not loving in order to get some type of like, oh, I'm worthy of being loved, but that we're able to love up ourselves, and then we can share our love with someone.
Right, because we can't pour from an empty cup.
But
And
very
yep.
important word.
And I feel like, we definitely did that. Like before we, really hardcore got into just like the business side of being an entrepreneur, I feel like we really worked to build ourselves back up, from all that like doubt, that lack, that, limitation mindset that might have like built up with toxic relationships or toxic family environments and things, or just toxic things that people have said. And I feel like we really dove in and navigated our way through that through self-love. And self-love is never just like, okay, I learned self-love and now I'm done. Like, it's not, it doesn't work like that. It's a journey. It's not like a destination. And I feel like we, really just focused on that, and we used each other as like a community to kind of do that. And that was like the platform, or like the foundation that we built to become entrepreneurs. And we were so blessed to have, like, it was me, Stacy, and then Ash and Kelly were our roommates, and we were all just very strong women who, we wanted to do our own thing. We never wanted to like work for other people. We wanted to, work for ourselves and grow businesses, and we're all doing that. Like, Ash is a film producer, Kelly is a photographer, and she films as well. And so, yeah, we're all out here being creative women and doing things, in the divine feminine way.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Um,
yeah.
I remember like just I was always going to seminars during that time.
Yes, Stacey was a serial seminar goer and a serial dater at the same time, I feel like.
I was a serial what is it? Yeah, webinar, seminar goer, all of that,
Yeah.
personal development. And yes, I was dating so much at the time, like having all kinds of dates. But story for another day. The thing was that, I think I felt really open to share with Brett just because of the things we were talking about, and really sharing with her like the things that I was learning, the things that like the conversations that I said like weren't being had in, during our college days. Nobody was talking about the law of attraction, or that was like years ago, almost 15 years ago now. So it was really amazing to just like start that with her, and learn as we continue to like do those things together. So yeah, that was an amazing time too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's really about like elevating the conversation behind entrepreneurship, because I just feel like so many, and if there are any of you like watching right now who have any entrepreneurial questions, please shoot them to us, or any comments about like your journey personally. But yeah, we feel like the struggle part, or the building of the foundation part, is definitely left out. And it's much more fluid when you kind of build that foundation before you delve into the like worldly structure of entrepreneurship. So that's what we're interested in doing, and having having real conversations. But yeah, were you about to say something, Lindsay?
No, just saying hello to some of our guys students, and especially Leia. Thank you so much. Hello, beautiful, and so cool. It looks like we can wave now. I don't know if you
Yes.
oh, you can like wave. So like there's they are changing up this app, so I feel like it's going to get more and more interactive.
Yeah, for sure.
Clubhouse coming, or Clubhouse
Yeah,
out.
that's why we also like Clubhouse, not to like promote it or anything, but we like real conversations, and we're able to have that there, and, engage with the audience. So we're definitely hopping over there to discuss with you ladies after. Hey, Tracy, after this, conversation. But yeah, we just think, go ahead.
If you have any questions, oh, did you deal with any imposter syndrome getting started?
Girl,
Oh,
still.
yeah. And I think what we were talking about a little earlier, and what you kind of touched on a little bit, Brett, was about, that entrepreneurship sounds like glorified or so on, but I've taken jobs many times, and I think that's happened for you too, Brett. Like, tried something, it failed, go down. I can't, and also I've tried different companies.
Me and Stacey have had so many jobs, like it's not even funny.
About that. I was thinking about the other day. Actually, I was like an entrepreneur since I was like, very young. Let me tell you, like my parents, they didn't know anything like this. I was like doing garage sales when I was like in elementary school,
Oh yeah, I used to make a little like
money to get some ice cream, really.
Yeah.
But
And I was gonna say I made like little these little ornaments out of Sculpey when I was like 10, and I sold them at the craft fair, and I would make like lots of income when I was doing that in like the 5th grade.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I've always been
Oh,
entrepreneurial minded, and yeah.
see, that's cool. I'm definitely gonna get back on the thing, Crystal. But this is like a fun conversation because I remember in junior high, I would sell the little butterfly clips. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
buy the butterfly clips for like cheap, and then I would go and sell it like double the price for my friends. And I'm like, the people that they don't know like downtown or the alleys or whatever.
Yeah.
Bring it up to like, oh yeah, we had like because nobody knew where to buy these things, and then they would be sold at Claire's for so expensive, and I was like,
Yep. Yeah, but I think it's like once first get that taste of like making your own money, especially if you're super young, like 10, you want to keep doing that, and you realize like, oh, it's possible for me to like make money on my own, and outside of like having someone else hire me, or being hired by the white man. And like, so I think that starting early, kind of just with that mindset, it's like you have that in the backbone, but it's like you got to build up the stamina to have a consistent entrepreneurial career. And I feel like we've taken jobs like from I worked at a gymnastics gym. Stacey's been like worked at a LASIK place, and we've done like a zillion different jobs in between, and had points in time where we've worked other jobs and then quit other jobs and worked other jobs and quit, like, but I think we've definitely along that way we've met a bunch of amazing people. We've had many beautiful connections. It's like how when you have to like when you take other jobs as an entrepreneur, it takes like a little bit of stress off of you just like having to make ends meet and pay for your like basic essentials, but then and it also helps create some space for you to like grow. And I think that other jobs are like kind of stepping stones along the way to becoming like fully sustainable on your own. And I think we've definitely had to go that route, and seen each other go that route as we've grown and developed together as entrepreneurs. It's funny, like I feel like our entrepreneur journey together and our friendship together started together at the same time almost, because we were just like, yeah, LMU was very like entrepreneur pushing kind of school. I feel like most of us are entrepreneurs now.
yeah. You know what? Actually, I just see JT on here. One of my other friends, let me see. Yay! Jason. So that's from high school too. And then, like just back then, oh shoot, so there was like CDs, right, that you can buy. And then just after high school, I just remember when I was stepping into college, I already had like so much experience, or a lot. I was really confident in myself of like getting a job, right? So then I had a full-time career already, sort of, with Ed Hardy, where I was like doing sales management and also customer service and returns management, all of this stuff at their corporate office while I was going to school at LMU.
And she used to work herself so hard, like to
Yeah.
the point of burnout. And that's another thing. Like, so imposter syndrome is a thing, and burnout is a real thing.
Yeah.
And it's like you have to build and I would almost say like it's a spiritual foundation. Like you have to build a spiritual foundation first to build a successful entrepreneurship career on top of. Because if you don't, like as you're growing and then boom, like imposter syndrome hits, like how are you going to get back up, and how are you going to find the tools to navigate through that? Or like if you're going and just anything pops up, like you need those tools. So yeah, continue, Stacey.
Yeah, so then, I was gonna say like around our time, like there was the 2008 where a lot of our friends, I also had got laid off from my job. Hello, hi.
Hi,
And
Indra.
yeah, and I, got laid off from that job, and it was hard to get like other positions. And I know at that time it was like interning and doing a lot of other jobs, and I had created also a event planning business around that time. So that's where I started, just like event planning. We were trying to host other women events. There was a lot of different things going on, and a lot of, like they said, just like kind of a lot of up and down. And if you're just joining us, we are talking about Fempreneur Fridays, or it's Fempreneur Friday, and we're talking
Welcome.
about entrepreneurship. We're talking about entrepreneurship, the ups and downs of it, and like the real deals, right? Like
The part that isn't glamorous about entrepreneurship.
literally having to take jobs, having to take, like thinking that we're going to create this amazing business and it failing, and then you feeling like, oh man, I'm a failure, I got to go back to work, and then taking your butt over there, learning again and trying again. And I think that's what the thing is. It's just like we continue. Entrepreneurship is not like just a straight line. You start from the bottom and then you just keep on going. It's like ups and downs, and those are the things that we're sharing about. Someone just asked us about imposter syndrome, and for me, it's really just navigating those times, and even like on a weekly basis. And I think it's just that you get stronger. They don't necessarily go away, but the times, like, as you continue to like go and move through those failures, because to be honest, it's more failures than wins.
Yeah, it's failures every day that you have to like literally navigate through, and like you can't I don't know if anybody has read the 4 agreements, but one of those agreements is don't take anything personally. And I feel like as an entrepreneur, like that's really important, because yeah, you're gonna get so many no's, and you're gonna get, just people who doubt you, people who don't believe in your vision, people who don't see your vision. But it's like, so you have to have that foundation to believe in yourself, despite what anybody may say, or despite like, how you may have been told no that day, or like, the failure that might have happened that day.
Right.
So
And
yeah.
same thing. How do you, I love this. How do you navigate that? How do you come back from that? How do you like keep on keeping on when those things happen? So maybe that could be something fun to share, Brett. Like, what's something that you do when you're feeling like just like in a down mode? Like, how do you get yourself back up?
Right. So I think me and Stacey kind of figured this out together when we were just building the company, and she taught me this like writing exercise or whatever. And it was kind of
Hey,
just like,
my client. Go.
say that again.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
So yeah, we did this like writing activity, and but so when you like start your entrepreneurship and you build it on a foundation, it's like you automatically kind of build these tools that you have, and then can you always go back to when you're feeling low or feeling like you have imposter syndrome. So like, yeah, for me, when I'm just feeling like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, or like I feel like a failure because this happened, or because I have to go back and like work for this person again or whatever, I write it out, and like I write out like what happened to get it out of my head. And then, when you put it on the page, it makes things more clear, like, okay, wait, that happened, but I'm still awesome. And then, like just putting it on the page, but then also writing like what you intend and expect to manifest, from that or on top of that. And I think that, you want a clear vision of what you do want to happen, versus what failure ended up happening. And I think journaling is one of my tools to like pull myself back up from imposter syndrome. I think meditating is also a way to pull myself back up, because I think when imposter syndrome happens, imposter syndrome like occurs because of the world's opinion and outlook, on you. And I think that when that happens, you have to go within to counteract, just like that illusion of outwardly, influence and impact on who and what you are. So yeah, I think just turning within in those ways really, really helps.
Hi, Tony. Good to see you. I, yeah, so right, Brett. And then you know what? As you're speaking, so yes, great. I was just kidding. It's totally not a secret. It's also in my book about just like journaling. Journaling has helped me so much in so many different ways. And then remember we were reading that book, which is a great book, The Artist's Way, and it just helps you with journaling and just, like, getting things out. And another thing that I have a lot of my clients like reframe things of like getting back to your truth, as Brett was talking about. And it's definitely in my book too, which you can check out in my bio. So one thing that you said also with imposter syndrome, because I was dealing with that just even a couple of weeks ago, I think I shared on my Instagram, was, man, okay, I was going into some of the clubhouse rooms and I was feeling like, like stuck, like, and sometimes you feel stuck in areas, for me anyway, like I think people are way more, advanced than me. They're making way more money. Like, what do I have to share in this room? Like, why would I make a difference? Why did I even come up here? What am I even saying? So that's definitely plays a part in imposter syndrome for sure. But what I had to do, because that literally had me like stuck for like, to be honest, like a whole day.
Yeah. Yeah, see,
And
that's why we call stuck, because
yeah,
this happens all the time. Like, it's imposter syndrome is something that happens all the time, and like building back up self-love is something that happens all the time. And so you have to be strong enough to keep doing these things over and over and over and over again.
yeah. So it's easy for you to kind of be taken off of your game. Like I had a win like recently. I had The List, which is like a national television show, like host one of my talks. Oh, thank you, Ezzy. Hi. Host one of my talks, and they shared about my book, and I got to really explain and talk about losing emotional weight, which is a great win. It's amazing. It's amazing that it had happened. Literally, like a couple of days after, I'm worried about like some people that don't even know me in Clubhouse, you know, like
Yeah,
those are the type of things that you like literally go through. And that's like, that's what's real. And that's what kept me stuck for a day. Like I didn't even celebrate a whole day, but yet
yeah,
I can be stuck for a whole day when something happens negatively, in my own opinion. People don't even
right,
remember what
right.
I,
And I think like that it's good to have, communities of women. Like, we wanted to build communities of women because of this, because of the fact that like imposter syndrome is real, and it's hard to get out of your own head when you're alone. And I think that when you're in a group, or when you have other supportive people around you, other supportive entrepreneurs, other supportive women, like building you up and reminding you that like, hey, no, you are worthy. Hey, no, you are enough. Hey, no, you are limitless. Like, then it's easy to snap out of these feelings of like, imposter syndrome, and come, back to what is reality.
yeah, is. And I think, like you said, being reflective on the people that are around you that, hey, you know, this is normal. We go through this too. It's okay. It's just another day. No one's going to remember that. Nobody knows even what you said. Just like keep on moving on and like stay into your purpose. Not, but you know what? Those moments are so defining too. You know, it's moments like those that help you build your muscle, help you reflect back on what's working, what's not working, you know, why did you feel that way? Like it's a good time to realize and grow, because the second time, even though that may happen, it might not take me as long, maybe take me half a day. And less and less and less, and you know, just talking about the real things in that way. So
Yeah,
yeah. So any other questions that you have?
yeah. Because
Look,
if not, we can kind of hop over to Clubhouse and continue.
okay, that sounds good.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I feel like, we just kind of wanted to introduce you guys to these conversations that we're going to be having every Friday. And we would love your input. Like, if you have, questions or some topics that you want us to touch upon, like imposter syndrome, or, like other entrepreneurial struggles that, we all go through. We would love to hear from you. But yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yep. So I think we're gonna hop over to
Okay, so
Clubhouse.
Clubhouse, feel free to join us. Hi, George. Hi, JT. Hi. Bye, Ezzy. Anthony. So great to see you guys. All right, so we'll see you guys next week.
Oh wait, do you make sure you save this IGTV, Stacy?
Uh-huh. How do you do
I don't
that?
know. I think it'll be an option when you quit it.
Sounds good.
But
Okay.
yeah, sorry everybody. We're gonna go over to Clubhouse now. So if you have Clubhouse, we'll see you there.
Yeah.
If you need a Clubhouse invite, hit me up. And yeah, thank you guys for
Bye.
watching. Have a beautiful day. See you on Clubhouse, Courtney.